Well, the Falcons made some moves this draft. Tried to bring in 2 star pass rushers to bolster this defense and bring a pass rush back to Atlanta. I feel like it's been so long. I want to say Vic Beasley. Yeah, he was like their star pass rusher during that Super Bowl run they went on that they sadly didn't end up winning. Back with Matt Ryan, they got their quarterback figured out. They have a good receiving core, good offensive weapons. Got to get this defense straight. A.J. Terrell, Jesse Bates, Jordan Fuller, some good defensive backs needed to get this pass rush straight. They brought in Ebiketie a couple years ago, who has shown some flashes. Rook Aurora, last year or 2 years ago. I think it was last year. Trying to fix this defensive line. Now you bring in 2 pass rushers, 2 stars of this past NFL draft to try to bolster this defense. We're going to try to continue to build in this rebuild as we take over Atlanta and Raheem Morris, who is known as kind of a defensive guy, to try to build this team. Like I said, you still have Kyle Pitts, who hasn't developed great. We'd like to see better out of. A decent offensive line, Chris Lindstrom, Michael Bergeron, Caleb McGarry, Jake Matthews. They drafted a dude who I think will be a little bit better than a 63 overall, but right now that is his rating. Could have gone after a center, I think, but maybe we'll just have to focus that for Michael Penix. Of course, you have Bijan, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, some really good guys. We're just going to try to continue to carry this team, build off of it, get this defense back where it needs to be. All right, and we do have some players to re-sign. Not a lot of money. Really don't know where we go with this one. I think Kyle Pitts has to go. He just hasn't been that producer. And for what he's looking to be paid, I don't think we keep him around. Arnold Ebiketie, I'd be interested in his numbers this year as he's working on his best year yet. I think we kind of wait till the end of the year. We only have 46 mil, so we're not really going to be interested in paying a lot of these players, especially if we're not winning games. I don't see Atlanta doing it in real life. 3-3 though, not a terrible year so far. I'm hoping it's because Michael Penix isn't doing bad. Bijan doing pretty decent. Receiving numbers look okay. Probably could use a second receiver. Not terrible sack numbers. Caden Ellis leading the way in tackles. Arnold Ebiketie in TFLs and Arnold Ebiketie in sacks. James Pierce with a sack. Jalon Walker with a half a sack. Not great from them. And some decent, not great interception numbers. I think we're going to have to move. I don't think we have the setup for these guys. We're just going to have to hope stuff continues to play good. I think if I do remember correctly, I think they're both star. I think maybe we move James Pierce down. I think we're going to leave him alone. We might have to swap to a 4-3. Well, 7-10. Not really the year you would like to see. Last year they were really fighting for playoff contention, I think, there at the end. If I remember correctly. We got some stuff to improve. Need to work on the offensive line. The rest of the offense isn't bad. Defensively, I swear I changed. Oh, yeah, this is okay, never mind. We're good. Yeah, not terrible, but not great. I'm regretting not starting James Pierce there. I just don't think that worked out. Arnold Ebiketie, though, starting to develop a little bit. Maybe he gets a payday from us. Not incredible. Pretty decent numbers out of Michael Penix. It's fine. Bijan, pretty good year. Ray McLeod had an incredible year for some reason. Blocking, Caleb McGarry was our worst offensive lineman. Caden Ellis with a good year. Arnold Ebiketie, potentially looking at a dev trait. 8 sacks, 17 TFLs. Jalon Walker, pretty okay. James Pierce, not great, but rookie numbers, so I'm okay with that. 8 picks for A.J. Terrell. Probably going to be a dev trait for him. 5 for Clark Phillips, maybe a dev trait there. 2 for Ellis, 2 for Bates, 1 for Walker, Diablo, and Billy Bowman. Guys, real quick, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Dubby. If you need energy and you're tired of the same lame canned energy drinks, all the Red Bulls, Monsters, all that, etc., that's really bad for you, take a look at Dubby. It equates to $1 per drink. They have some great flavors. Go to dubby.gg, pick out the flavors you want, maybe get a shaker cup because they have some pretty good ones, and use code BusterPlays at checkout to get 10% off. Now, let's get back to the video. All right, well, we're not going to... Ooh, Michael Penix is actually in the MVP conversation. I didn't expect that. Probably not going to be in the Coach of the Year, though. Now, I'm really only interested in a couple. AJ Terrell makes the Defensive Player of the Year list, which is interesting. Oh, Luther Burton went to the Saints here. Defensive Rookie. Jalen Walker's at 2. Pierce Jr. at 6. And Billy Bowman actually at 8. Quarterback, no. On the list, didn't win it. Bijan at 3. Receiver, Ray McLeod at 2. Offensive lineman, not... who's down there? Chris Lindstrom down there. Best defensive lineman, Ebiketie at 9. I would have thought he would have been higher with those numbers. Best linebacker, not on that list. Best defensive back goes to AJ Terrell with Clark Phillips at 6. Best kicker, not on the list. Not a terrible year though. Let's take a look here. Any dev traits? Ray McLeod goes up to star dev. And defensively, AJ Terrell goes up to star dev. Nobody else goes up though, which I'm okay with. Like I said, I think our only concern is going to be trying to keep Arnold Ebiketie. We do have a Cincinnati, Minnesota Super Bowl, another weird one. I've been seeing a lot of those in Madden lately. And the Minnesota Vikings win the Super Bowl. All right, well, we got some money. And Bijan is signing a 5th year. I mean, Kyle Pitts at this point, with all this money, I think we might keep probably for the rebuild. I mean, that is a huge deal. We'll see if he signs that. Yeah, okay. He stays for the rebuild. Tyler Algier can go. Arnold Ebiketie, I would give this 3-year. He played good enough last year that I think maybe he can keep it up. He's not interested in signing. We're moving somebody down. I'm not overpaying him. And I feel the same way about everybody else. The only person, you know what? I think we can get a right tackle in the free agency. If not, we'll target Caleb McGarry there. Everybody else can go. All right, well... You know, we're going to add these couple of pieces here. Really focus O-line and another outside linebacker in the draft. Just because it's not a great free agency and I don't want to super overpay anybody. And we don't have our first pick until pick 9. Because of the trade-ups that happened. So we are going to have to get to that pick, or round 2, I'm sorry. Don't think I quite specified there. Our first and player we are probably going to move over to the tackle position is going to be Travis James. Looks like a really good player. We just have to get this offensive line right. Hidden dev is perfect. In round 3, we are taking a center. This dude looks great. He is going to be the day 1 starter, ranked at 26. Hidden dev, another great pick. Glenn Johnson's going to be the pick here. He looks like the best available, so we're just going to go with him. Did not get a good reaction. Yeah, not great. All right, well, we did get some players. Not great ones. 2 middle linebackers we're going to start. A left outside linebacker that's not great. And I think I'm going to move Travis James over to right tackle. Just because we don't have a starting right tackle and we really badly need one. He is a scheme fit. He looks, I mean, he might be a little heavy, but he's a hidden dev, high overall. I'm perfectly fine with that. We bring in a center in Connor Davis, who's going to start right away. He looks like he's going to be a really good overall. And yeah, we just got to go into year 2 and hope for a better draft pick next year. All right, well, this is our team heading into year 2. I feel confident. We got the offensive line straightened out. We got weapons. Jahan Dotson is a new slot. Hopefully he does like what Ray McLeod did last year. Defense, I moved Walker and Pierce down to the defensive end spots. I'm hoping that changes up a little bit. We don't rely on these guys as much in the pass rush game. So I'm hoping these guys can just do good enough until we get to next draft, where I am focusing outside linebacker. We got Ross, who's a hidden dev middle linebacker. I'm actually going to make him middle linebacker 1. And everybody else still here. We might be looking to trade Jesse Bates soon, though. That age, getting up there, let Xavier Watts play and develop and gain some draft picks. All right, well, we are 3-3. That puts us at second in the division currently, the 6th seed. We have some people to re-sign, should have plenty of money, and we do. Like I said, Jesse Bates, it's looking like he is going to find his way out of here. 29, gonna regress. Darnell Mooney, a 2-year if I can bump the money, and this should do it. Matthew Bergeron is, we're going to pay him. He's going to stay for the long run. Okay, we're going to have to adjust it a little bit, give him a little bit more money. Jordan Fuller can go. Clark Phillips is young. I would like to keep him. We'll bump it a little bit. Make it a 5-year deal. He's played good for us. And I think, really everybody else I am not concerned with. Jesse Bates, though, it is time for you to go away. A 2nd and a 4th. I'm content with that. We have a lot of pieces to fill. That's going to be a done deal trade. Gets him out of the way. You don't have to worry about it. Xavier Watts is going to start to develop, and hopefully that helps us. Now, Michael Penix not having a great year so far, needs to get it together. Bijan, though, is doing great. Darnell Mooney leading the way in receiving. Jahan Dotson getting there. Hopefully he steps it up a little bit. Some decent sack numbers, really. Jake Matthews with a lot. Xavier Watts leading the team in tackles. James Pierce Jr. in TFLs. And Jalen Walker in sacks. No great sack numbers, but this is about, that's where Arnold Ebiketie was at the midseason last year, so I can't complain. Terrible interception numbers. And it looks like Davis is only star dev. We don't know James' dev trait yet, sadly. And we don't know Ross's dev trait either, so we're just going to have to keep waiting for those. And interestingly enough, we make the playoffs. Now, we do have to play Detroit week 1, or in the wild card, not week 1, but, you catch my drift. Michael Penix with a good enough year. Bijan with a pretty great year, 1,300 yards. I'd like to see more touchdowns, but can't complain too much. That's the year we want out of Jahan Dotson. Maybe a dev trait and he can start to develop. The fact that Jake Matthews had 19 sacks is kind of ridiculous. The rookie with 10, though. Xavier Watts led the team in tackles. That's pretty good. James Pierce Jr., 13 TFLs, 10.5 sacks. Jalen Walker with 9. That's a great year out of the tandem. Nobody else with a lot. Not looking for a lot from anybody else. Not great interception numbers, though. And James is only a star dev as well. Defensively, Ross was a star dev. Xavier Watts up to a 76 overall, though. I really don't know that I want him at sub linebacker, but it's just going to be what it is. And we just got to hop into this wild card, see if we can take down Detroit. Detroit's still a powerhouse at this point. They haven't lost anybody yet. They are really good, but Atlanta does really well in the sim. So we have the potential for a Cinderella run, even though were we 8-9? Were we under 500 and made the playoffs? A Cinderella run at that would be just incredible. We do score first. Oh, I'm liking our chances as we go up 10-0. 13-0, they start to answer back now. They got a lead. They started slow. They finished really strong, I will say. We put up 13 unanswered. They put up 38 unanswered. As Michael Penix, okay day, not great. Bijan with a decent day. Darnell Mooney had a great day, but they had 2 guys that just killed us. Defensively, any sacks? They got JT Tuamalo. Rook Aurora with a sack. James Pierce Jr. with a sack. And Rakestraw had their interception. Not exactly the year you would want, but we do make the playoffs, so we can't complain. Well, no Michael Penix in the MVP conversation this year, and we're not going to be in Coach of the Year. No runners for Offensive Player of the Year. Nobody for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie. I don't even know if we drafted offensive lineman. Defensive Rookie, Ross down there at 7. Again, we didn't have the best draft. Best quarterback, Michael Penix is there. Best running back, Bijan at 5. Best receiver, Jahan Dotson at 4. Best offensive lineman, I doubt we have anybody. We were terrible. Best defensive lineman, James Pierce Jr. at 10. Best linebacker, not there. Best defensive back, not going to be there. Not enough sack or interceptions. And Younghoe Koo not making the best kicker list either. A Green Bay Buffaloes Super Bowl. I do want to check our depth traits before we find out who wins. And, Jahan Dotson doesn't go up. That's surprising. With 1,000 yards, 17 touchdowns. And Xavier Watts goes up in dev, so he's going to be a long-term fixture there. And it looks like the Bills win the Super Bowl with Ed Oliver winning the Super Bowl MVP. All right, well, it's time for us to re-sign some people. Michael Penix, we are just going to sign. Don't need the 5th-year option for him. Everybody else, we're going to let go. Even Jake Matthews, he gave up 19 sacks last year. It's time for us to just find a replacement. Younghoe Koo has not done great the last couple of years. So we're just going to let him go. We will actually throw a 2-year at Bradley Pinion. He's done good enough. Take our 146 straight to the free agency and try to find some guys that are going to improve this team. BJ Ojulari. Hopefully we get in Andres Borregales. And we get the kicker. We do not get the player I was hoping for as right outside linebacker spot. We just could have used him a lot. All right, well, we're at the draft. We have pick 20. This can go a lot of different ways. It's all dependent on who's here, and I don't know why quarterbacks are getting scouted so much. Alton Murphy, a top 5 talent. At corner, we need, and this guy looks incredible, actually. We need to be able to move some people around. We need some more defensive backs. Ranked at 2, got him at 20, hidden dev. This dude's incredible. He's just going to be a defensive back. I don't know where we're going to move him. Safety, something. We just got to get to the 2nd round where we have 2 picks here. This one is a little bit different as I'm thinking we're going to go Chase Gabriel, a left guard. We're going to push out to left tackle. We just lost Jake Matthews. Maybe a normal dev lineman. Still probably going to move him out. I mean, this guy's got to be. This is another guy we can move out to left tackle. Looks incredible. We just got to keep that offensive line healthy. Ranked at 6, hidden dev. He's going to get pushed out. We'll start. I mean, none of the linebackers were really worth it. So we're just going to start looking at those guys now. Stanley Ellington's just going to have to get in there and play linebacker for us. Somewhere along the line, ranked at 101, hidden dev. We might move him to middle linebacker. All right, well, taking a look at our draft recap, we got a really good corner, some good offensive linemen. It really went downhill when we started looking at all these other guys. And you know what? It is what it is. We're just going to have to try and develop some of these outside linebackers or win without them. Well, we're about to get into year 3, and this is what the team's looking like. Of course, we moved Easley over there to the left tackle spot. Offense looks pretty good. I think Jahan Dotson can develop. I think I can get him to develop. He's still... another season like he had last year, I think he gets a dev trait and he'd be like mid-80s. I think he'd be outproducing Darnell Mooney at that point. Be pretty good. We got to start thinking about another receiver here soon. And we got to get this defense straight. I think we can make this work at middle linebacker. Outside linebacker we need to fix. Probably could bring in a safety. Xavier Watts is developing. Murphy, who is going to be supposed to be a corner, is playing that free safety role because we don't really have anybody really built to do so yet. And our defensive line looks good. And no complaints there. We just got to try to get after the quarterback, score a bunch of points, and hope that that pushes us to the playoffs again. All right, well, we know Easley is only a star dev, kind of developing, getting pushed back a little bit. Murphy's only star. Ellington, we do not know yet. Hopefully that gets kind of going here soon. We have regressed a little bit. 2-5, not the year you would hope. That's why everybody is playing down with morale. Michael Penix has gotten worse. Bijan's doing okay. We want more rushing touchdowns. Jahan Dotson doing pretty good. Looks like the best receiver. I mean, not great sack numbers. Defensively, Chuck Ross leading the way in tackles. I like Jalen Walker in TFLs and Jalen Walker in sacks. Need James Pierce to step it back up. And not a lot of interceptions. Our defense is struggling. We just have to hope we can finish putting this together, as we do have some players to re-sign. One of them, two big ones. Bijan, who we are going to pay. He's going to stay around another 5 years. I don't see Atlanta not doing that unless something big happens. And Michael Penix, who we're going to pay a boatload of money to stay because he's the quarterback of the future. Torrey Horton, I don't know how he got here. I mean, for that deal, bump it up a little bit. 3-year, 15. You know what? No, we won't. Rook will get paid. 80 overall, 25 years old. Just really needs that developmental trait to get there. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm keeping him. Keeping him for a while. A backup superstar dev quarterback. 56 overall is something. Don't care, though. He's going to stay. Dev trait regression's off. He'll eventually regress or develop. And yeah, I mean, after that, we just have Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. to re-sign next year. We're taking $55 million. I doubt we really sign anybody in the free agency, so we just have to get to the playoffs. Well, sadly, we regress a little bit. Go 6-11. A 92 overall offense is really good. Defense ends up finishing in an 86, which I think is a little bit of a bluff. We ended up, look at, Jalen Walker there with an incredible year, it looks like. We ended up finished 13th. Pretty much bottom of the division. We beat the Saints, who finished first recently. I think we just took too long to get going. And like I said, we know we can expect some dev traits from somebody. Michael Penix, 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 picks. Not great. Bijan, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jahan Dotson, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. Better get a dev trait this year. Not great sack numbers out of our right and left tackle. Chuck Ross leading the team in tackles is cool. Jalen Walker in TFLs. Jalen Walker in sacks was 17, 8.5 from Pierce, 7.5 from Rook Ororo, 2.5 from Chuck Ross, 2 picks from Phillips, 2 from Murphy, 1 for a couple of others. You know, AJ Terrell hasn't had that incredible year that he had year 1 before he became a superstar X Factor. So I'm kind of looking for that back. And Jahan Dotson does go up in dev, so he goes up to star dev. I like that. Kind of outplaying Darnell Mooney now. Really need to look for a wide receiver too. And defensively, Jalen Walker goes up in dev. Jamin Davis goes up in dev. So I'm okay with that. Ellington is star dev. Ross up to a 76 overall. 78 true, I think. I mean, I'm okay with those dev traits. I really like that, actually. We just need to hope that we can continue that, as we have a Jacksonville-Seattle Super Bowl. Probably one of the weirdest I've seen. Not on the MVP short list. Probably not going to be Coach of the Year either. No point in checking. Isaiah Bond, Offensive Player of the Year, is a little weird. Jahan Dotson makes the list, though. Defensive, Jalen Walker at 3. Offensive Rookie, not going to be there. Defensive Rookie, I was hoping Murphy would be a little bit higher, or Theory, or somebody. Best quarterback, Penix at 7. Running back, Bijan slips all the way to 9. Receiver, Jahan Dotson at 3. Offensive lineman, not going to be there. Defensive lineman, Jalen Walker at 3. Linebacker, not there. Defensive back, probably not going to be there. And best kicker, Not there either. As the Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champions and Tariq Woolen wins the Super Bowl MVP. All right, not re-signing anybody. Gonna just take our money into next year. Let it be what it is there. All right, so we did get Isaac. Hopefully he can replace Jamin Davis pretty easily and put up similar production. All right, well, we're here in the draft. We have pick 6. We're going to get to it, and a middle linebacker was taken pick 1. I think I'm going to work on just trading the other guys I got. We're taking Clayton Hillman. We're going to move him over to the right. Hidden dev player. Ooh, maybe I should have looked at safety. That would have been an interesting one. Safety you can normally get later, so we're going to take Larry Hatchett. Looks pretty good. Gonna be Darnell Mooney's replacement. Ranked at 10, hidden dev. Dwight Donaldson, perfect middle linebacker replacement. Got a bunch of guys there we need to replace. Ranked at 25, hidden dev. All these guys have been ranked higher than our first round pick. Now we got to look for a corner or a safety. All right, well, Middlebrooks seems to be the fastest of all of them, so we're going to take him. Get a good reaction there. Normal dev. 23, I don't like. I mean, I'm happy with this draft. You know, we hit a lot of 66 overall players there in a row. Hatchett looks really good. Dwight Donaldson looks really good. I do want to see a middle linebacker was taken at pick 1 of 1. This had to be a 76 overall. Not that much better than ours. A 23-year-old rookie. 1 of 1. What kind of dev traits they got? Star dev too? Yeah, that would be... If I was rebuilding a team and I took a middle linebacker 1 of 1 and he was star dev, I would lose it. This team's going to be good. We got a lot of good rookies we can add in there, so we just got to do that and move on. And this is the team before we hop into year 4. Of course, we add Hatchett. Looks like he's going to be incredible. Jahan Dotson back in the slot, who's had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard 15-plus touchdown seasons, more than you could ask for. Offensive line looks good. I just need to continue to grow and hope Chris Lindstrom sticks around a little bit longer. Defensively, we add Hillman. We add Donaldson. No complaints. Middlebrooks probably our weak point. But 3 good corners, good defensive line. Fixing that linebacker core. We got to hope this is the year that we can start to put it together for good. All right, well, at the midseason of year 4, 4-3, 87 overall team, 91 offense, 83 defense. Looking really good. Bijan looking like the rushing leader. Michael Penix having an all right start to the year. Of course, Bijan doing Bijan-type things. Kyle Pitts leading the way in receiving. Have some other guys that are... doing pretty all right. Hatchett, the rookie, leading the team in touchdowns is awesome. Not great sack numbers. We are giving up quite a bit of sacks. Dwight Donaldson leading the way in tackles. 9 TFLs for James Pierce Jr. 5 sacks for James Pierce Jr. leading the way. 3 for Walker. 2 for Aurora. 1 for a couple others. A pick for a couple people. Nobody really doing anything crazy there. And Hatchett, superstar dev. You love to see that. Offensive line looks good. The whole offense looks good. Still a lot of guys developing, playing really well. Kyle Pitts actually doing pretty decent. Defensively, Hillman, don't know his depth trait yet. Donaldson is superstar depth. So a superstar depth for him is really good. I wish free safety could get a little bit better, but I think we're in a really good spot. I do want to check out, see how we have. Okay, yeah, feel good about this. I'm actually going to move Donaldson to the sub linebacker. I want him getting as much as he possibly can. All right, so we got Jahan Dotson back in. Again, trying to develop him a little bit. I know he's probably 27 now, but we got him to star dev, 83 overall, so he's doing pretty good. I like this team, man. I think we can make the playoffs again and really make some noise this year. And hopefully next year, too, with re-signing some players. And, of course, A.J. Terrell, we're going to give a 1-year, $18.5 million. Jalon Walker, we want to keep him around. We're going to pay him like the edge rusher he is, put some numbers. James Pierce Jr., we're going to pay him. He's going to stay. I think Lindstrom, if we can get one more year out of, we try to. Jahan Dotson, I might wait around on. Just see how his year goes. Xavier Watts, actually, we are going to pay. Keep him around. He's our new starting safety. Everybody else, we're just going to try and wait around on and replace if we have to. Well, I gave us false hope. 9-8. Did not make the playoffs. After the midseason, we went on a little skid. And I don't know why. I don't get it. Michael Penix, an okay year. Not great. Bijan was fantastic. Hatchett, maybe a rookie of the year. Some rookie of the year type numbers. Jahan Dotson, 11 touchdowns. If only we could have got him in that slot receiver position the whole year, I think he would have done all right. Not great blocking numbers. Dwight Donaldson leading the way in tackles. James Pierce Jr., 21 TFLs. Aurora with 17, 16 for Walker. Pretty good TFL numbers. 9.5 sacks for Jalon Walker, 9 for James Pierce Jr., 4 for Aurora, 3 for Adisa Isaac. AJ Terrell with 3 picks, Chuck Ross with 2, Middlebrooks with 2, 1 for Donaldson, Xavier Watts, and Alton Murphy. I am curious I think we only needed to see one dev trait. I want to say it was one of the safeties, as I am expecting a couple of dev traits this year on the offensive side, and it was Hillman, who is just a star dev, but not terrible. I mean, this team should be really good. I don't know why we're not winning more. And sadly, in the Super Bowl this year, we have a divisional rival in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were the 2 seed. Not on the MVP shortlist, not going to be on the Coach of the Year shortlist. Offensive Player of the Year, we sadly don't have anybody there. Defensive Player, James Pierce Jr. at 4. And Jalon Walker makes the list at 10. Offensive Rookie goes to Larry Hatchett. Hopefully a dev trait there. It's not guaranteed going from superstar to superstar X Factor. Dwight Donaldson winning Defensive Player of the Year. So we get both Rookie of the Years. That's pretty awesome. Quarterback, Michael Penix isn't on the list. Running back, Bijan only at 6. He had a great year too. Best wide receiver. See, it's weird that he was at 6 when he had the 3rd best rushing numbers. So that is what it is. Receiver, nobody. Green Bay with 3 on the list. Best offensive line, not going to be on that list. We were pretty abysmal. Best defensive line, Jalon Walker at 8. James Pierce Jr. at 4. Best linebacker, do we not? Donaldson at 7 as a rookie. Best defensive back, Tyke Smith wins it. And AJ Terrell is down at 9. Best kicker, we do get, so we get a dev trait out of our kicker. That's pretty cool. And taking a look at our dev traits, of course, we get none on offense. So that's awesome. Defensively, James Pierce Jr. goes up to superstar dev. And Middlebrooks actually goes up to star dev, so we might not need to find a new free safety after all. And the Buffalo Bills do win the Super Bowl, so that's good news for our division. Hopefully we're I believe the first one's in our division to win a Super Bowl. I don't think... Buffalo's already done it once. Yeah, nobody else in our division has won one yet, so hopefully we're the first. Even though Tampa did get a Super Bowl visit before we did. Well, we're not going to re-sign Jahan Dotson or Darnell Mooney. We'll let both of them go, along with everybody else here. Nobody's really worth the pay. We're going to take our money into the free agency. All right, we're simply going after one person, and that's Armand Mimbu. And we get him. Just trying to improve the offensive line any way we can. Even though it's not necessarily in bad shape, I think adding a player like that really just takes it over the top. Especially for a player like Bijan, where Matthew Bergeron has been okay. He's not a scheme fit, though. He's starting to regress. He's just going to become a backup, and we'll let the O-line continue to build like this. All right, well, we do know where we're heading in this first round. At pick 16, as long as the player that I want is still there, which it looks like he is going to be. You know what? I know this guy's at day 2 to 3, and it's a bit early, but this guy looks really good. We're going to go ahead and take him. He is going to be our new free safety. James Pearson, hidden dev, incredible player. I know he's not a scheme fit, but when that good of a guy is there, you just kind of have to take him. All right, Junior Burke. Looks pretty decent. Hopefully he is going to be good enough. 40. Normal dev, though. Might just have to throw him in that slot spot and see if he can cook. Yeah, I'm taking a backup tight end. Backup's the way to go. Hidden dev. I mean, I'm going to take this guy. Abdul Tuck. He's a round 2 to 3 talent. I think it's a bit early. Ranked at 52, normal dev. Kind of figured so. Could start in the slot, maybe. We could try to develop him, get him that rookie of the year. But I think we're going to do it with the other guys. He seemed to have a little bit higher of a potential. And this guy's got A kick accuracy. Max Hoskins. That's an elite punter if I've ever seen one. Ranked at number 2 in true talent. Hidden dev. What a player. What a player. And boy, oh boy, look at that punter. 83 overall. Generational punter. You love to see it. But the rest of these guys weren't bad. I mean, some pretty good picks. Hidden dev safety. Hidden dev tight end. Normal dev wide receiver that, I mean, he looks pretty good. Backup left outside linebacker, starting punter, a backup defensive tackle. I think we've got the guys to push us to the next level for year 5 now. Well, year 5's finally here, and this is what the team's looking like. I mean, really good. I think we're really close to being there. We just gotta kind of play it out. We've got all the pieces, 2 great offensive linemen, a bunch of great defenders that we have developed, drafted. Pearson already playing up to a 79 overall. Murphy, really good. Clark Phillips, I guess he finally got a dev trait. I can't remember when he got it, but up to an 87 overall. The defense should be on top of things and playing just out of this world. Well, 3-3 is not a great first look. I know that much. And our offense is just... I've seen this Falcons offense do so well in the sim. Just not working for us, I guess. As Michael Penix is playing pretty good. Our rushing numbers look good. Not great touchdowns. Junior Burke leading the way in receiving. Hopefully another rookie of the year. I mean, 3 300-yard receivers is pretty decent. Spreading that ball around. Sack numbers look pretty decent this year. Dwight Donaldson in tackles. James Pierce Jr. in TFLs. Jalon Walker in sacks with 6. James Pierce Jr. with 4. 2.5 for Aurora. However you say it. Dwight Donaldson and Clark Phillips with the only interceptions. Not getting great interception numbers. We have a fantastic run defense. Where to go? Yeah, a great defense. Good in rush yards. Not great in opponent points per game. And not great in offensive points per game. So we are not winning a lot of games. And look, Minnesota, 6-1. They're not as good of a team as us. So I feel like that means they are going to beat us. And the offense looks good. I mean, I have nothing to complain about here. We're a good team. We should be winning without a doubt. Defensively, Pearson, star dev, not a big deal. I think the rest of our defense, again, looks really good, really well put together. A lot of good developing pieces. Burke's still in that slot wide receiver spot. I mean, maybe that's our weakness. That's why we're not scoring a lot. I don't really know. I mean, I'm going to keep him there for the time being, and we're just going to try to push through to the playoffs and hope we make it. Oh, and we get a halfback breakout for Bijan Robinson, and he gets the automatic X Factor dev trait after I would assume was just an incredible game against the Packers. Didn't get a weekly award win, but I'm assuming, at the midseason, we were a top defense and a terrible offense. Since then, we've become a terrible defense and a fantastic offense. I just don't understand what makes this game go sometimes, but we're locked in. We're leading the division at 8-4. I think we can carry this out and make the playoffs. Well, we didn't end up winning the division, as our last 2 games of the season were against Carolina and the Buffalo Bills. We end up losing both of those. Now in the wild card have to play the Carolina Panthers. This Carolina team is intense. Washington was terrible. Wow. Bijan, it looks like he did his Bijan stuff. Michael Penix with a pretty good year. Bijan, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. Penix had 10 rushing touchdowns. 45 total touchdowns. Maybe MVP type year. Junior Burke, that's Rookie of the Year. 1,000 yards, 17 touchdowns is Rookie of the Year. Drake London with 903 touchdowns. Hatchett doing pretty good. Pitts with a decent year. Bijan contributing through the air. Left tackle is just, I don't know. Don't know. Donaldson led the way in tackles. Jalen Walker in TFLs and Jalen Walker in sacks with 20.5. James Pierce Jr. with 11.5. 7 for Aurora. 4.5 for Isaac. 4 picks for Donaldson. 3 for Phillips. 2 for Murphy. 2 for Watts. And 1 for the rookie James Pearson. And I think we already saw our depth traits. We did get to see Robinson go up to Superstar X Factor. Burke playing up to an 80 overall. So that dev trait's going to hit. The backup tight end was Star Dev. And yeah, Pearson was the only rookie we had on defense with a dev trait. He is an 81 now, playing up to an 81. Donaldson developing nice. The whole team's developing. I mean, even Clark Phillips is almost playing to a 90 overall. Jalen Walker, probably going to see a dev trait this year with the incredible amount of sacks that he had. And there's nothing left to do but hop into this game against Carolina and take down the Jalen Hurts-led Carolina Panthers. All right, well, I accidentally hit play the moments, and a little bit of the game has gone by here, but we are up by 7 now in the second quarter. Carolina ties it. 14-7 lead, 14-14. This Carolina team's no joke as we do answer back 28-21. Going to take this slow as this Carolina team is driving. And they get the touchdown, tie the game. Our offense has to do something better than what they are doing. So we're going to come in and we're going to try to ice this. Now, we can't leave Carolina any time left. So I want a game-winning field goal. An easy game-winning field goal as we're going to hit Burke. Hit that outside. We step out of bounds. I'm not really sure why I did it, but I did it. We got time to run. Run into the weak side here. Hopefully Bijan can figure something out. Oh, he's pretty much going to get hit immediately. Bounce off that. Try to take a little bit. It's just Carolina defensive line's no joke here. Chris Lindstrom, who is a 93 overall right guard, can't figure it out. 3rd and 2. Run to the weak side where we have the numbers, get the first down, go to the 2-minute warning. Other side of the 2-minute warning, other side of the 50. Time for us to figure out what we're made of. We're going to hit Kyle Pitts for the first down. Clock's running. Just got to keep the clock running here. I think I might try to hit Bijan. We're going to see how he's followed. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Why is Penix stuck in the mud right there? I tried to move for so long. That's okay. That's okay. We're not in a terrible spot. There's a lot of places I could go here. Like to Kyle Pitts. Get me back to that 3rd and 7. They're going to call a timeout. They know what we're trying to do, which is run the clock out. Now, it's 3rd and 7, so I don't really want to... I'd like to get the first down. We're going to hit Kyle Pitts. He's going to get it. That's another timeout. Now we can wind this clock down. All right, just going to pull out the... Come on, Penix. We got the QB sneak with 7 seconds left. Gonna rub it in Carolina's face. Not doing the field goal. Make it look like a little bit more dominant of a win as we kick the extra point. And we got a touchdown game, and they have 7 seconds. So we're just going to hope that they can't get it, and they don't. And that is an Atlanta Falcon win. Michael Penix with a pretty good day. I mean, very similar to Jalen Hurts. Michael Penix outplayed him a little bit. Better completion percentage, better rating. Bijan, 171, 2 touchdowns. Now, Keaton Mitchell had 2 touchdowns as well. Michael Penix, of course, QB sneak. Kyle Pitts, 92 and a touchdown. Hatchett, 61. Bijan with a receiving touchdown. Decent blocking there. But they had 2 sacks. Zach Theory with a sack. And James Pierce Jr. with a sack. No interceptions. And now we have the Minnesota Vikings, who we lost to earlier this year. We end up with the same record as them. We're a better team. We have a 4-point overall advantage. So they still have TJ Hawkinson. I wouldn't have thought they would have paid him for that long at this point, especially with the injury concern. And of course, JJ McCarthy's still on Minnesota. Guess he develops pretty good here in Madden as we jump to the end of the game where Minnesota moves the ball pretty well, but so do we. And we take a 3-point lead. They answer back with a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Can we get something going here? I'm gonna have to jump in, try to get a play going, a touchdown our way to kind of help us, and hope we can have a defensive stop as we hit. That was such a late drop. That definitely should have been a catch. Hatchet into the end zone. There we go. All right, now we just need a defensive stop. And it looks like we get one here. Can our offense come back out and score? That is the question. Did we give them enough momentum? And I don't know why that big jump, but we do get the momentum. We tie the game. Can our defense do something now? As it doesn't seem like they can. 3rd and 6, a huge pass to TJ Hawkinson. Hold them to 3 maybe? All right, hold them to 3. 7 minutes left. Okay, 3rd and 15. We have to come in. We can't give them the ball back here. I'm thinking we're going to be able to hit Burke here. No, we're going to get sacked. All right, we got to go for it here. 4th and 27. This is a tough one. I mean, Burke never could get going on his route. And he drops that one. Jesus. Oh, dropped the pass there. Now we just have to hope that our defense can... All right, it's a 6-point game. I just want us to be able to do something for once. 3rd and 4. How about we figure out how to play the game of football, people? That was the slowest, and he just drops it. He's wide open. Oh, he's supposed to be Rookie of the Year. We're going to have to rely on Hatchet. Get that first down. That's all we needed. I mean, our main guy there, Burke, just letting us down. I don't really like any of this that we got going on here. As I was going to hope Penix would be faster than a 300-pound defensive tackle with all the rushing accolades that he has on the year. I think I was wrong. But he did get out of bounds. That's all that matters. I don't like this to the right side of the field with a left-handed thrower. So we're just going to have to hit Hatchet. Get the 3rd and 2. Probably going to see the 2-minute warning here. And then I lose my play. 3rd and 2. We got something to work with here. We get the first down. That's all we wanted. Burke held on to it. Thank the Lord. I do want to start throwing some deep options out on the field just to see if anybody is able to get anything going. If not, we're just going to dump it off, get yards. Now, I also don't like that the clock runs the way it does because that puts us in a terrible position. Oh my gosh. Drake. I'm trying to possession catch it, my man. Nobody can catch the ball in this Falcons team. Not to mention, everything is moving. All right, I wasn't trying to go out of bounds there, but we do. And I'm not used to... Now, here's what I'm going to do with Drake London, is I'm going to see how this safety reacts. As Burke is just... Those blocks weren't great. Oh, yeah, we went from 48 down to 25 seconds. Go Penix. Go Penix. 18 seconds left. Runs into the end zone. Man coverage look there. You know, maybe we should have held on to it a little bit, but when you have the touchdown, you take the touchdown. 1 point game. All right, 17 seconds left. What can our defense do? Oh gosh, thank you. We held them. I didn't know if they got it there. I thought it was like an instant. I don't know what happened, but I thought they had it. Michael Penix, really good day. Really good day. JJ McCarthy a little bit better, but Penix gets the win. Bijan with a decent day. Burke with a okay day. Of course, 3 drops is pretty bad. Hatchett, 76 and a touchdown. Pitts with a touchdown. And Bijan with a receiving touchdown. Decent blocking numbers. And did we have Pierce Jr. with a sack? Jalon Walker with a sack. Only 2. No interceptions, but a win. And the NFC Championship game against the Seattle Seahawks. The Bird game. They have the better record. We have the better overall. This should be a win for us. I wonder if they still have Sam Darnold. They do have Aiden Hutchinson, Byron Murphy II. They got some great players. Luckily, we have a really good offensive line, so hopefully that helps us and propels us through this national championship and into the playoffs. Or the Super Bowl, not playoffs. I'm talking about playoffs. We're in the playoffs. As we jump to the end of the game, and hope our offense can get something together as we have a tie game, 7-7, 14-7. Bijan seems to be doing pretty good. 21-7, we are leading Seattle. 14-21, 10-point game, 20-point game, 10-point game again. Okay, now I'm going to slow it down because no, we're not doing no 4th and 1 nonsense. Let me tell you what we're doing. We're bringing in Michael Penix for the QB sneak. We got a gap here. Hopefully we can hit it. I don't know why we got squiggly lines. That's a first down. And we go back to the sim as I have a feeling it's just going to be... we're not doing what you want us to do. I hate to tell you, we're going for it here. I want my guys in the Super Bowl. And Hatchett's going to get the first down. That's another go for it on 4th down. They're out of timeouts. That's going to be game over. We beat the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship. We're headed to a Super Bowl. They don't have Sam Darnold anymore. They have Matt Poole, who threw a pick and didn't have the best completion percentage. Michael Penix had a way better day. Rushing, Kenneth Walker did pretty good, but so did Bijan. 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 a carry. Now, Kenneth Walker had 6.7, which is insane, but Bijan was a different animal. Not the best receiving numbers. Burke with 2 receiving touchdowns. That was it. Some sacks given up for sure, but it looks like only, more than 2. More than 2 sacks were given up. As Aiden Hutchinson had 3, Jalon Walker had 2. Those were your 2 sack getters, and Dwight Donaldson with the pick. And we have to play the Bills in the Super Bowl. They've been pretty consistent in making Super Bowls in this. Michael Penix is 3rd for MVP voting. Josh Kane in there. Coach of the Year goes to the Panthers. We are on the list, though, so that's good news. Offensive Player of the Year, Michael Penix is there. Burke is there. Defensive Player of the Year, Jalon Walker's at 2. Oh, I wish he would have had the 1. Junior Burke winning Offensive Rookie of the Year is awesome. Defensive Rookie, I don't even think... Pearson's at 9. I was going to say we didn't draft any. Best Quarterback, Penix at 2. I think that's a little overrated. Bijan winning Running Back of the Year. Receiver, Burke at 6. Offensive Lineman, nobody. Defensive Lineman, Jalon Walker at 2. Just got robbed of his year. James Pierce Jr. at 9. Linebacker, Brian Burns on the Bears now. We don't have anybody on the list, though. Best DB, Xavier McKinney, still representing the Packers. Clark Phillips at 8. Pretty interesting. And best kicker, we're on the list at 6. Now, what I'm interested in is the Superstar X Factors, or the dev traits we got for this Super Bowl. And Burt goes up to Star Dev, so he gets the dev trait. I'm surprised he didn't get it for stats, too, though. Like, the double dev would have been nice. Bijan still, we don't really get anything on offense. Like, we got the 1, but that's about it. A little upsetting. Defensively, Jalen Walker goes up to Superstar X Factor, and that seems to be the only dev trait on defense. I would have thought we played way better than that and gotten a lot more, but we just got to continue it, go to the Super Bowl, beat the Buffalo Bills, I think every year. It's either going to be in Tampa or Minnesota. It's just like every Super Bowl I do in franchises, it's Tampa or Minnesota. We're in Minnesota. I think that's just the schedule that Madden has the Super Bowls on. As we jump to the end of the game against Buffalo, they're going to be a good offense, so we have to come prepared too. And our offense has not been able to get it going. They get 3 on the board right before half, 6-7, 6-14. I'm going to have to slow this down here, as we better figure out how to play the game of football. It's Junior Burks going for some yards there, and an interception by Will Johnson. All right, now I'm going to come in and put a drive together. We've got to get some points on the board. We have 7 minutes, so we really shouldn't have an issue. We just need to tie the game, and we want to score kind of fast, as Buffalo's defensive line is just destroying our left guard that's 93 overall. That makes perfect sense. Kyle Pitts, get in motion. Go. Run like your life depends on it. And we're going to hit Hatchet for the first down. This seems to be a top-end defense. Running blitzes. Bringing people. Pitts. Take off. Get the first down. Run a man over. Michael Penix. 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. It's quite the stat line for my guy. I'm trying to do something there. Will Johnson is just tearing us up. 2 minutes has gone off the clock, and I have not ran that many plays. All right, we got to figure something out here. This team is crushing us. What's going to happen here? We're going to hit Kyle Pitts for a huge play. That's what's going to happen. We got to keep trying to go deep. I mean, clock just runs off. Time just burns. And now 3 minutes has gone off the clock. I don't agree. Drake London. Can we hit him for the touchdown? We get the quick score. We need the 2-point here. We've got to have it. And I'm going to be looking Hatchet immediately, and then back to Pitts here. And Hatchet beat his man, gets the 2-point. We got us a tie game. 4 minutes left. We've got to stop Buffalo's offense. We start with the sack, which I love. They get it back. 4th and 7. They're kicking the ball back to us. I've just got to hop in here because I have no trust in our offense. They have not given me a reason to give him an ounce of trust. We got to throw that away. The way it was played, 2:39 left. We're going to hit Bijan. Okay, I was hoping I was going to spin everybody out there. 4th and 1. We got one option here. That's a Michael Penix QB sneak. We got all 3 timeouts, so we don't have to rush. Just got to make sure we get this first down. And we do. All right. Now, we did do good at beating them downfield. It was the short stuff they were really good at stopping. These are insanely fast defensive players. A minute 35 left already. One play. All right. We get a lot of it back there. That's going to put us under a minute because Michael Penix is going to take forever to get going. All right, Kyle Pitts, go to bounds. Save the timeouts. Now, we probably don't deserve to win this Super Bowl if we are able to... I mean, really... Go Penix, slide. We could probably... I mean, we don't even have to get a first down, like, fast. But it helps because we got one more play. They call a timeout. We get a field goal. And they're going to call a timeout here. Especially after that first down. I mean, I'd almost feel comfortable scoring a touchdown here. Now, I know they're run committing. But it doesn't matter because when you have Bijan, you're good to go. All right. Got a game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl. It's pretty easy ask here. No icing, nothing like that. Kick is up and good. Zeros on the clock. It was a tight Super Bowl, and I don't think Michael Penix deserved it, but Josh Allen apparently didn't have a great day either. I mean, a little bit better because he didn't have 2 interceptions, but he still had 1. But Penix with 250 yards. Now, we did do some of that. Doesn't matter, though. Bijan, decent day. James Cook, a little bit better of a day. Michael Penix, 49. Josh Allen had a rushing touchdown. Drake London, 82 and a touchdown. Of course, he had the long one. Looks like a lot of sacks were given up. That's what it looked like to me. 3 for James Pierce Jr., 1.5 for Isaac, 1.5 for Jalon Walker, 1 for Bosa Oliver, a half for Aurora and Clark Phillips. They had a half split up. A pick for, I think that's our left tackle's name, Eric Easley. Will Johnson, Alton Murphy got 1. Pretty good game, though. I just don't know that you give Michael Penix Jr. the MVP there. And apparently you do give Michael Penix the MVP because he got it. So what can you do? And we built a pretty good team. A really good offensive line that's paid. You might have to draft some more people, but like Easley has not played that good. James and the rest of the line played good. Kyle Pitts developed awesome. Michael Penix, you probably got to pay soon. He's great. Bijan's great. He's paid. Drake London's paid. And of course, you'd have to pay Hatchett and Burke, but you can always bring in new receivers. Fletcher, young, developing, looks pretty good. The offense is great. Defensively, I mean, did Atlanta get it right just drafting 2 pass rushers in this rebuild? They did. Trading back up. The draft picks didn't matter. Aurora developed nice. Kept A.J. Terrell. Clark Phillips developed awesome. Drafted Alton Murphy, James Pearson, Hillman, Ross, Donaldson. Brought in Adisa Isaac. They drafted Xavier Watts this past year. We ended up being able to develop him pretty good. And special teams-wise, we brought in Andres. We drafted Max Hoskins, who ended up being a great punter. Got these guys playing top of their game and winning a Super Bowl for Atlanta, something that some Atlanta great quarterbacks were never able to do, like Michael Vick, like Matt Ryan. Michael Penix was able to do it, bring back the left-handed quarterback. He gets it done. And that's going to wrap this one up, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments if there is a team y'all want to see next. I'm thinking about starting a franchise series here soon, just to push us until the next Madden gets here or the new college football gets here, depending on how extreme some of those rebuilds have to be. And until next time, y'all have a good one.